Welcome to the top of the morning show. It's your girl TT from the D. Hey, I want to say happy Tuesday morning. It's Tap In Tuesday tonight, but I want to say happy Tuesday morning. I had an amazing weekend. Shout out to all the fathers, all the fathers' fathers, and all the fathers' fathers' fathers, and all the women and ladies who celebrated those wonderful fathers we have that are co-parenting and helping us raise our children or our child. If you have one child, if you have more than one, the children. And shout out, double salute to all the bonus dads who are pouring into a bonus child or bonus children, because that's a whole nother pair of shoes that is different, right? And when I say that's different, you know, I attended a comedy show with my husband for Father's Day, and the comedian, shout out to Damon Williams, he was super funny, but he had, saluted the fathers and things like that, but he made a valid point. It's very difficult for a stepfather in some cases, because you got those baby kids that'll be like, you ain't my daddy, you can't tell me what to do, things of that nature. But then, you also have the child or children that may not have an active father in their lives or dad in their lives, whatever that looks like, and then they may resent the bonus dad or the stepdad, like trying to take their pop's place. In a lot of cases, that's not it. If you are a grown man and you had that be your story back in the day, maybe you can resonate with that, maybe you can't. But I know growing up, and I had a stepfather who lived in a house with us more than I can remember than my own father living in the house with us. I respected him to a certain degree until things went a certain way and I lost all respect for him. I never looked at it in the beginning like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. I respected him like a child should respect an adult and a father figure in the beginning, and when things went south, then that respect, like I said, it went on and disappeared. But to a lighter note, to make this show not be heavy, I just want to salute all of the men who step up to the plate, whether you're raising a stepchild for marriage or, some of y'all are in these long-term relationships. Some even do it from a situationship perspective, and you take on that role, that male role. And a lot of times it's not something that you initially want to say, oh yeah, I knew what I was getting into, because a lot of times you may not. But I salute you if that was your story, because it's a lot to take on another man's responsibility. We can never fill shoes of a parent, whether if you're a stepmom or a stepdad, a bonus dad, a bonus mom. We are never, because I have bonus children. And I'd never ever try to, or never would even dream or imagine trying to be my bonus kid's mom. You know what I mean? But I can say that when you pour into children, whether they're from your womb or they're not, if they're under your care and under your leadership, you just gonna do it because they're a child, right? So I would think that for fathers, and bonus dads, stepfathers, whatever your title may be, however you look at yourself, however people recognize you, it's a lot. So, I want to salute you. I know my husband has this ongoing funny saying like, happy wife, happy life, happy husband, what? I'm like, I don't know. And so, the comedian Damon Williams said something yesterday that also was funny, but it was like, oh, it made you really think like, dang. He said, man, you try to call somewhere and get Mother's Day reservations at a restaurant, they be like, yeah, we've been booked up for a couple of weeks, basically. You know what I'm saying? He said, but you go and you try to get reservations at a restaurant for Father's Day. Oh, party of 20 right this way. It's no way. It's not busy. He said this place should have been sold out, but no, it's Father's Day. Let this have been Mother's Day. It wouldn't have been a seat available. And we laughed at it because it's funny, but it's unfortunately true. And I don't know why that's like that. I really don't. But before I get into that, honoring our fathers and the men who step into those shoes, I want to give a big shout out to an amazing restaurant that I discovered with my family the day before yesterday. Amazing. I'm not hip to them until just while we were there in Perrysburg. We were out there chilling, and we got hip. In this area, it was like so many different amazing places to dine. But we were looking at the time, and we were looking like, we could go to what we know, right, y'all? We can always stick to a restaurant we know. That's familiar, so we're going to go there, and we'll try that out because we know it. So if you find, some people will Google and say, okay, what's near me that I know? Let me see if there's an Olive Garden, because, that's a chain restaurant, right? And so you'd be like, okay, let me go to Olive Garden, because we know it. But what about the places that we're not familiar with, right? And so I say that because we visited a very chic, the decor was amazing, Agave and Rye, right, in Perrysburg. And I have to tell you, when I say the food was amazing and everything is made from scratch there, I learned that. Big shout out to our server. Her name is Rachel. So when you go there, ask for Rachel. And amazing. I let her choose my beverages for me. Y'all know I love a good libation. And the first one, I was like, I don't know what I want. You go ahead and you choose for me. So the first thing she brought me, which was on Father's Day, because we went back, the food was so good, the service was so good, we paid it a visit yesterday, right? So I told her when we were all done, like, we'll be back tomorrow before we head back home and things like that. So on Father's Day, I had a sparkling rosé and peach Bellini margarita. Oh my God. I should have got the epic size, but I had a regular. Next time I go, I'm getting the epic size. If I got people who want to share it, I'll get that picture. But it had house silver tequila, sparkling rosé float, a peach puree, triple sec, fresh lime juice, sugar water, and secrets. Now, I don't know what the secrets is, but it was amazing. I had one sip and I'm like, oh my God. I let my husband sip it. He was like, oh, this is nice. He's like, this is like a vacation drink. I was like, oh my God. So when we went yesterday, she picked my second drink. It was the strawberry bombshell, and it had Bacardi rum, vodka, fresh squeezed lemonade, strawberry puree, and cream of coconut. And it has some real strawberries in there. It was so good. The guac, we had it both days in a row. And let me tell you, I am a sucker for elote. Man, I had elote corn, and it's like cut from the cob, but the presentation of it is amazing, right? Amazing. It was so good on Sunday. I had it on Monday as well, right? Because you like to get things you can't just go around the corner and get from the house. It's just like when Heaven on 7 was in Chicago. We always went there. Every time we visited Chicago, we never left without eating at Heaven on 7. It was on 7th and Rush in downtown, right off the Magnificent Mile. And I was so hurt when they closed it. And when they closed it, they still had one in Naperville. We drove to Naperville one time, right? Just to go. It was different, but the food was like, it was still the same, but not the whole vibe. And then due to COVID, they left. And I was like, oh no. When you find you a good restaurant, you're like, let me put the world up on it. So again, this restaurant in Perrysburg, and I understand there's several locations in Ohio. I think they have one here in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, I think Rachel said. But it's agave and rye, epic tacos, tequila and bourbon hall. Amazing. And then the tacos, let me tell you what I had, because y'all know I'm greedy. So I ended up trying 2 different tacos the first day, and the tacos are huge, right? Because as I said, I like to eat, and so I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get this one, and I'm gonna try to. So my husband was like, how full do you get? Do you think you need more than one? And so Rachel said, they're pretty good size depending on how hungry you are, and you can always get 1 and get 2 or whatever you want. So we're like, okay, let's just try 1. According, of course we had the sides, we had the appetizers, so we had the guac both days. Then my husband did the what did he do? He did something on yesterday. I'm trying to think, because I know we did the guac, and I think he did, oh God, man, was it like, there were crispy Brussels sprouts. That's what he had. He had the crispy Brussels sprouts. So I had the elote. Nobody ate that, just me. It was so amazing. So we had the elote. I had the elote, and then for the tacos of choice, Cody loved the Happy Pappy. Okay, he got that Sunday and he got it on Monday. And the Happy Pappy had pork carnitas, Mexican rice, spicy and sweet bacon, aged white cheddar, queso, guacamole, love cushion. And it was so good. And so on Sunday, Father's Day, I ended up having the alderman, which had the carne asada steak, street corn salad, cotija cheese, spicy chile, salsa. It was amazing. My husband had, I think he had the first time, the vegan jackfruit and mushroom burrito style. It was like street tacos. He loved that. And then so on yesterday, Monday, he ended up getting the it was some kind of, I'm trying to think. I think it was the Queen E, which is the crispy mahi, malt vinegar, French fries was on it, chipotle remoulade sauce, pickled red onions, radish, habanero, slaw, guac, crispy puff, and soft flour tortilla chill. Amazing. So I told Rachel, I gave her my card the day before, and I said, we'll come back tomorrow. I always leave notes, and I like to leave my card when I get great, amazing service, and the food is amazing, because I like to talk to the servers or the managers, especially when it's not a chain restaurant, and this was not a chain restaurant. It is and it's not. Let me say that. I don't know if you'll find them in other countries or other states. I should say states. A lot of, you go to certain countries, like you got a McDonald's. It's worldwide, you got a Burger King, things of that nature. But this place was amazing. You gotta definitely go there. And then, as I say, if you're in Perrysburg, you gotta go. If you want to laugh and have amazing drinks there, because they have great drinks at the Funny Bone. Amazing. Like I said, you can see some of the most amazing comedians there. We've seen some great people there. We've seen Bill Bellamy there, some more there. We just seen Damon Williams there last night, and so I'm gonna be looking. I heard Chris Hart perform there a couple of months back. I'm like, shut the front door. That thing was on swell. So I said, I'm gonna be stalking. And then you could stay at one of the Hilton properties around there. There's other hotels in the vicinity, but it's amazing to be able just to stay around there or get an Airbnb in that area and just go. One of the things I loved about staying at one of the Hilton properties is it's right across. So we don't have to have a DD, which is a designated driver. You guys can have a great time, laugh, indulge in your libations of choices, eat well, and just chill. They have a lot of things going on. You got coffee houses, shopping stores there. You got to pay some bills. You got all that activity all right there. You need to, so much. And you got a movie theater. So if you bring your kids, like we brought Cody, they have an arcade inside the Funny Bone. We didn't get to go this time because we were running short on time, and then we realized they're not open on Mondays. They're open Thursday through Sunday. So we're like, okay, that's a nice little getaway. We could catch a show if we decide we're gonna go there and do Friday and Saturday, and check out on Sunday. We know, okay, Saturday we won't get up. We're going to do breakfast. Bob Evans is down in that area. You got a Crackle Barrel not far away. It just depends what you want. The hotels, you can get breakfast there. You can even just say, hey, where's a nice little spot, not too far, if you don't mind driving or whatever that looks like. But I thought it was amazing. So if you are ever in Perrysburg, please stop at the Agave and Rye tacos and tequila. Amazing. And you can ask for Rachel. Tell her TT from the D sent you. Now, getting back to my fathers, because, we were honoring fathers. It's kind of like, when you think about it, you think about Father's Day meaning. What's the significance of Father's Day to the average person, right? What does that really look like, ladies and gentlemen? What does that really look like? To most, you might say, okay, it's looking good, right? We're honoring the men who choose to be in our lives and love on us and support us and guide us, It's a day that we celebrate them for that role. But fathers, just like mothers, a father is a father 365 days a year. He gets no break. Like us as mothers. Mother's Day is once celebrated outwardly, worldwide, nationally, once a year. But we're mothers 365 days, 366 on a leap day. On a leap year, leap year. And so I think it's important that we remind ourselves and remember that is important to celebrate those men that are in our lives. You know, ladies, if you are married and your husband is an awesome father, then, you know, I think we celebrate. See, women know how to celebrate men, and men know how to celebrate women. And I say that because boys don't know how to celebrate a woman. A girl doesn't know how to celebrate a man. A man, you get it? A man and a woman should be able to do these things. But a boy and a girl, they're just going to do what boy and girls do, childish things, right? So, a father is more than a paycheck. A father is more than someone who's going to be the other person that's going to balance you out when it comes to child rearing, right? But I will say this, it's important that we recognize. It's important that we recognize our men that choose to be fathers. And no matter what culture, you know, it's not all about money. Maybe you can't go out of town. Maybe you can't go out to a fancy restaurant. Then that day, let it be a day, especially if that man is one of those people who is always doing for the family, right? Always doing stuff around the house or cooking, doing all. Let that day be a day that he don't do anything, ladies. Right? If you have a child or children, let that be a day that y'all cater to him. That y'all say, you know what? He's all, oh shoot, I'm sorry y'all. I'm just rubbing my eye, about to knock my contact right on out its socket. Totally, my eye probably red. It's probably red. Oh no, it's not. I'm looking at it. But yeah, so it's kind of like, celebrate them. Why not? You know what I mean? We're lucky when we have our dads. We're lucky. And I think that it's important that we celebrate those men and remind them why we like to celebrate them. You know, I have fond memories of my father when I was a child. I didn't have many growing up as a teenager because, you know, when we become older, sometimes we just do our own things, right? We kind of, not on purpose, but we kind of unknowingly just kind of start doing other things with our peers and things of that nature. And so we kind of navigate away. And so I wish that I really secretly always wanted to be a daddy's girl. In my heart, I was. And my sister was more the daddy's girl. My dad looked at my sister more like, that's daddy's baby, blah, blah, blah. And I always wanted to be a daddy's girl. I'd see some of my friends and their dads truly was like their girl dads, as they started to say, right? Like I'm a boy mom. I'm a boy mom, and I love it. I love my boys. They get on my nerves sometimes, but I still love them. But despite the movement, y'all, we got to stay on top of celebrating fathers. Okay? We do. And let me share this little bit with you. Despite the original controversy surrounding Father's Day, society had a growing awareness of the importance of fathers. See, in the early 1900s, fathers did not receive much credit for the influence they had on their children. And in fact, they said that most psychological studies completed on a parenting focused their research on mothers. But in the 1970s, psychological people started thinking, maybe we should recognize these dudes. Now, that ain't how they said it, but I'm sure it was just like, we need to recognize fathers as much as we recognize mothers, because fathers are also caretakers. As time has moved, you even got single fathers. I know a lot of dads who raise their children on their own. And I always thought that was crazy. Like, you know, it was almost like a norm for a father to walk out on the family. But it never seemed to be a norm for a mother to walk out on the family. And I remember growing up, I have some friends who mom left when they were young, and it was just like they were raised by their dad, and it was just like what, she don't love us, she don't want us. No, sometimes I think And I'm glad they repaired their relationship later in life with her. But sometimes, if you think of it, if you're made to get married at a young age and you don't know about life, you're moving fast, right? Especially if you have these marriages like in other countries and other cultures, some are arranged, right? And so sometimes you don't even get to pick your mate, right? And then, of course, a lot of times you're going to have the older man trying to find that young thing. So he going to come with however, depending on the culture. Or it could not even be a cultural thing. It could just be like, yo, this old dude got money. This old dude is well off. He'll take care of our daughter. So if we have a poverty-stricken family and this older man is taking a liking to our sister or our daughter or our niece or our granddaughter or whatever, and this person has the ability to take this poverty-stricken family out of the hood and do something amazing for them, then they're going to say, well, it's almost like, can you take one for the team? It's like, wait. But yeah. And so in today's time, things aren't like that, right? So we really do have dads really raising their children and being there. They're coaching, they're pastoring, they're leading. You have men that are role models to young boys and young girls who don't have a father figure in their life, whether their father has gone on to glory, whether their father has been locked up, incarcerated, whether their father don't even know he was a father, because maybe, and this happens a lot, and ladies, we need to do better and we shouldn't do this, but sometimes women go off and get pregnant, don't even tell the man, so he has no idea that he's even a father. But that's a conversation that you should be having before you start fornicating, I think. Now, that's a whole nother podcast, but that's real talk. You know, you on birth control, you know, and like I tell my sons, I don't care if she says she on birth control or not. You better strap it up. I hope you don't be out here having sex, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with no boy being a virgin or not sleeping with these fast-tailed girls, because some of these girls is hot tamales in the coochie. That's real talk. I don't care if you offended, if you don't like what I just said, go back under the rock, because in reality, if you got a son, you need to educate him. If you got a daughter, you need to educate her. It's a two-way street, and we need to be better. Okay, we don't need all these baby mamas, baby daddies, or young teen pregnant people, or young teens, and then they feel like they forced to I had to give up my life. No, you didn't. You made a conscious choice, and you were irresponsible, and this is the result. But that child or those children then has to come here, right? So then you become a mother, you become a father. Getting all off subject, right? But actually on subject. So I just pretty much wanted to give an overview. I wanted to salute and just honor our dads and just say how important it is to have a male. And tomorrow, or I should say tonight I'm going to talk about men who are fathers. I think I owe that to you guys, right? I wish I could wrangle up, fathers. And I probably could put together a show. It would be last minute because I'm thinking this as I'm saying it. I would love to do a show on being a dad, what it's like being a dad, it's an honor to be a parent. Like, I'm honored to be a mother to my two boys. I got a 21, soon to be 21-year-old. He'll be 21 next month. And then I have a 13-year-old. And I'm so thankful. They drive me crazy sometimes. I be wanting to bust them in their chest. But I love them and I appreciate them. I thank God for allowing me to be their mom in this life at this time and on this journey. And then I thank God for my older son's father, David. A great father, always has been. Even as his children are grown, he still is an amazing father. I'm grateful for my husband, who's an amazing father to our youngest child that we share. He's also always been an amazing father to his children prior to me. And they're all grown. Cody is the baby, and he's 13, so he's not really a baby, but he's the youngest. And, as we get older, we build our relationships, and they cipher off and tailor off, or they go down different paths and roads, and every relationship is uniquely different. For all those that have fathers out there, if they're still in your life, whether you have a strong relationship or like, we kind of talk, it ain't nothing wrong with shooting a text. Hey, just checking in. Want to let you know I love you. Or if y'all don't talk like that, y'all don't say that. Hey, Pops, what's up? Hey, Dad. Or some of y'all call y'all dad by y'all first name, they first name. Hey, Robert. It's like, I never always thought that was disrespectful. That's just me personally. Because I was raised, you call your mama, mama. You call your daddy, daddy. Even if you don't like them, you don't call them by their first name. My family would have backslapped you. You do not do that. And so it's just like when you're talking to an adult, you always put a miss in front of that name. Hi, Miss Janice. Hi, Miss Teresa. Hi, Miss Tina. Hi, Miss Erica. Hi, Miss Wendy, whatever. Hi, Mr. John. Hi, Mr. Steve. Hi, Mr. Michael. It's just a level of respect. And those were old traditions, as some people would say, but I miss some of those type of traditions because some of these people out here are so disrespectful. It's unbelievable. And it's sad. And you can only pray when you have a child or children that they do not connect with disrespectful people, because that DNA is a serious mixture, baby. So anyway, tonight we're going to talk about the men that are fathers and a little bit more. And yeah, I just think it's amazing to talk about the men. They deserve that, right? I think we got to even a playing field, y'all, when it comes to just showing love outwardly, not just inwardly, but outwardly. So I hope you'll tap in for Tap In Tuesday tonight. You could catch us live streaming at 8 p.m. tonight on any streaming platform such as Facebook. You can go through your StreamYard. You also can check us out on Twitter, LinkedIn, and of course YouTube. So we're working on some things for the 24 season, and I'm hoping that it'll manifest itself to take TT from the D to a whole new level, as well as the top of the morning show, but we'll see what God says. So until later on tonight, I'll see you soon. Have an amazing Tuesday morning. Catch us tomorrow morning for our Rise and Shine with TT from the D for the top of the morning show at 6 a.m. I'll see you soon.